According to spirit, we're moving in the right direction, and we just have to really hold on to that belief system and really hold on to, the focus and where we're headed, what we want to accomplish. You really kind of go in that perspective. So, and I have to say, I don't like going online much anymore because, boy, there's this thing happening. I'm going to tell you that real quick. I told Gerald that a couple of days ago, and he was like, you should have recorded that. I'm like, well, because he's like, I'm getting my camera. I'm like, no, because now it won't come natural. But Gerald and I were talking, and Gerald was kind of in a down mood as well. And he was like, everybody's trying to warn people about, what's going on in the cabal and how they're manipulating us. And there's so many people waking up and trying to warn people, right? And that's what Spirit is doing with us as well. But Spirit does it in a way where the focus is not so much on, installing fear. It's more on, look, this is the truth. This is the reality. Now that you can adjust your reality, adjust your actions accordingly, but with the perspective of, what you want, with the focus on positive reinforcement, becoming independent emotionally, spiritually, physically, becoming as independent as possible. So you really don't depend on a system anymore that just wants to kind of screw you over, if you want to look at it that way. Mm-hmm. But and he said, yeah, well, everybody's bringing it out, and he was just focusing on all these people are like, look at this and look at that and look at this and be prepared, and the banks are going to crash. And yes, all that is true. But when you look at how people are bringing that message forward, it's so full of fear, right? I mean, you literally get scared. Just you go to TikTok, it's one conspiracy after another. And yes, a lot of it is true. I agree. A lot of it has been confirmed by Spirit, but it's so fear-based. And I told Gerald this because this is something, that I figured out a while ago. I said the cabal uses both sides, those who tell the truth and those who don't tell the truth. They are in control of both. So even though people are sharing truth, and in their minds, they think that they're helping people wake up. As long as, your message might be 100% truth, but it's fear-based, the cabal wins. Yeah. If you share messages that are manipulative, that are lies, that are brainwashing, they win. So either way, they win on both angles. They win. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Mm-hmm. So yes, there's awareness happening, and people are really like, holy shit, like people who aren't to a level of awakening where they understand that how you present something, the energy you put behind your words is more important than the words itself. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And so I was trying to explain to Gerald, because Gerald's like, I'm going to start a channel. I'm going to tell the truth, and I'm going to expose, and I want to save the world, because Gerald's very much, he wants to be this Bruce Willis, save the Christmas, whatever. And I said, look, but it's not going to matter if you're presenting it in a way that's going to scare people. Because the bad people, the whatever you want to call them, there's so many bloody names for them now, whoever's in control of us will use that as well. Because they understand that it's not about what you say, it's about how you make people feel. And it's that energy source that feeds either the light or the shadow. And so whether or not you're trying to wake people up with your words, if you're doing it in the wrong way, they win either way. You can't win. And that's something that a lot of people don't understand. And it's because we're still very much, or not everyone, but people who are still in the 3D and in the 4D, they still very much are in this, fight or flight mode, right? We have to fight them. It's the only way. We have to get rid of him. We have to kill him. We have to, you know, they have this, oh, we got to expose them and we got to go after them. And, you know, but again, that's what Spirit kept telling me. It's not about what you think or what you express. It's about the vibration, the frequency that you reside in on a daily basis that's going to make the difference. Not your anger, not your concern, not your fear. That's not gonna help anyone. It's just going to create more fear. It's just going to create more negativity. It's just going to feed the exact same thing that they're trying to warn us from. Does that kind of make sense? I don't know if I'm making any sense, but anyway, I wanted to share that with you. And I think that's important. And the thing is, if I make videos about this, I get blocked right away. I've already tried to post videos on YouTube. I instantly get a warning. You're going to lose your channel if you post one more of these. So I have tried. And that's why there's nothing spiritual being said on YouTube anymore, because it's blocked. So I got Rumble, and now Rumble has been blocked for months in France. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen the live recording of a group reading. So usually what I do is I have some papers here, nothing in it, okay? And I just start scribbling. Okay, why? Because if it's just one-on-one, then I can connect to your energies right away. But because there's so many people here, I really just kind of have to open up the floods and say, okay, who's willing to come in? And so what I'll do is I'll just kind of explain what I feel. Is it a man? Is it a woman? Is it something else? Sometimes other entities come in, could be animals, could be ETs. And I will just kind of go off what I feel. I will just kind of explain what I feel. If I get a name, I will tell you the name. If it resonates with you, if there's a name that's stepping forward or a person that you think that might be somebody that I have known, and you think it's for you, then don't be afraid to turn your microphone on and just say, hey, I think this might be for me. If there's multiple people, that's okay. You guys just, you know, call out, and I'll just keep getting information until we know who it's for. Does that kind of make sense? Okay. Now we have a lot of people here. Oh, there's more people coming in. Where's my thing here? Oh, my mouse doesn't want to. Oh, there it goes. We have a lot of people, so I will have to disappoint certain people. And I have, in my meditation, I have requested Spirit to keep the messages as short as possible, but as direct as possible, so we can get as many messages as possible. Okay, but I already know the way I talk sometimes, we're probably going to have to disappoint a few people. Now, I'll start with doing this. There is nothing here. Look at my t-shirt. If you guys want a t-shirt, let me know. I sell them. Nothing there, nothing there. This is behind my computer. Okay, I usually look in that direction. That's my dad right there. My dad who's deceased, and this is where I connect to. So if you see me looking over my computer, that's where my eyes go to. As you can tell, there's nothing hung up. I know you guys believe me, but I just do that now because people have become very skeptical of things. So you'll see my eyes go directly over my computer. That's that. I'm trying to think. I think some of you have already had channelings with me, so you kind of know how I do it. A lot of you have never had any channelings with me. I just kind of go bleh, and we'll see what comes out. And, you know, if it resonates with you today, great. If it doesn't, keep it with you, write it down, keep it in your back pocket. I have had many messages come through, and then it doesn't happen till like a few weeks later or even a month later. And it's just their way of warning you that, you know, by the time that happens, you will have already been aware of it, so you can take proper action. Does that kind of make sense? Okay. I see Donna going, yay! All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start scribbling. I'm nervous, I have to say. It's a big group, so sometimes I get information scrambled up. When spirits don't want to wait in line, I do get sometimes information that gets mixed. Okay, so be patient with me. I am far from perfect. All right, let's see. I can hear my daughter. She's going to the bathroom. All right, Gerald's watching sports. He's watching football. I'm gonna wait till she's flushing. I'm gonna wait till she goes. Okay, there's definitely a male energy coming in. So this is definitely male energy, very strong energy. I also feel like this is a very opinionated person. And I feel that this person actually transitioned quite some time ago. The name that's coming in is James. It looks like James is, he's standing next to a woman. So I think that this might be somebody's parents, okay? It's kind of funny. So I have James on one end and I have a woman in the middle. And then there's another man on the other hand. So I don't know if somebody's mom got remarried and also this person is deceased. So that's kind of the kind of the dynamics that they're kind of showing me. Does that make sense to anybody?
Not sure if this is me. I mean, my dad is James. But he goes by Jim. And my mom, he passed in 2018. My mom passed in this year, 2022. And then a very close friend of theirs passed just this week, a male. So I'm not sure if it's me or not.
Okay. Okay, so the James that I'm connecting to for you, Karen, feels to me like he was a very intelligent person. Okay, he's showing me big brain, and he's standing next to Einstein. So I think he kind of had a big idea of himself as well. So it just feels to me, he's kind of laughing, but he's making me feel like he did have quite an ego. But there was so much love in his heart. There was so much love in his heart, and he really was a hard worker. He's making me feel like he always tried to provide. He always tried to do the right thing, but in doing always the right thing, he missed out on a lot of opportunities for his own growth, is what he's showing me, because he's showing me the big brain. For some reason, it makes me feel like he said that because he's combining feelings and visualizations, he's given me the feeling that he really had a very different perspective on the world, but he was afraid to show that to people. And it's like, he's so proud of you because you actually have that ability from him. It's like it was passed on to you, and you really have the ability to channel. You really have the ability to even see energies in certain places. And it's like he passed that on to you, and he says, I didn't have the courage. It's like he didn't have the courage or the confidence to really kind of go after that, because he wanted to be praised. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's almost like he wanted the world to say, hey, you're a good guy, you're this, you're that. And it's like that spiritual aspect didn't really fit into that kind of ego. And it's not like he was, it's not like the ego made him a bad person. Absolutely not. But he wanted acknowledgement. He wanted to fit in and really get the praises of, you're doing a good job, and you're a good person and all of that. He really kind of craved for that, because he's showing me that he didn't really get that when he was younger. Okay, he always had to fight for attention. He always had to fight for to be seen in a way. And so as he grew up, he was like, I'm going to do everything so I stand out and I do the right thing and people will love me and adore me. But by doing that, he really kind of dismissed a big part of himself, and also missed out on a lot of opportunities to really expand as a soul. But he says he's so proud that you actually embrace it and you are not afraid to speak up. He's saying that you are just like, blah, there you go, take it or leave it. You're not afraid to speak your mind, and you can be very strong-minded, very hard-headed sometimes. Boy, are you stubborn, he says. But it's your strength, it's your superpower, because you will not allow anyone take away what you feel is right. You will not let anyone brainwash you or manipulate you, and you really have a strong a sense of self. But he says, what you really need to work on is to have more fun with it. Right? It's such a serious topic for you, he says. It's almost like spirituality. It's so like, whoa, you put it on this pedestal, he says, and you adore it and look at it and praise it. But he says, where's the fun in it? Where's the fun in it? So he's really, the message for you today is about letting go, relax, play. He says, this is all just a game. So whether you make mistakes or not, it doesn't matter, because both are valuable in the expansion. And he says, you need to, by having more fun with it, you will inspire and kind of infect other people, because this is a lot of fun. Hey, we should do this too. Let's give it a try. So really have more fun in experimenting, in playing with spirit, playing with us. He says, okay, let's get a candle out. Okay, blow it out. That'll be fun. Come on, make it longer, make the flame longer. It's about really getting back into your childlike energy and just really having fun with it and playing games with spirit. When you do that, you're going to find so much more validation that you're seeking, because you are constantly requesting validation. Okay, although it's really not necessary, he says. But hey, we have to be a little bit insecure in this lifetime, right? So really important that if you play, you will not only open up your abilities even more, you will not even get the more validation than ever before, but you'll also, your fun, your joy doing it will also infect others with your joy, and that'll inspire them to play with it and to not fear it, because so many people in your community fear it. They're afraid of it. And you need to show them that there's nothing to be afraid about, that this is just fun. And that's how you're going to fulfill your job, your journey, your destiny, if you want to look at it that way, where you will light little candles inside everybody. That's what you're doing, slowly but surely, one person at a time. Light that candle, light that candle, light that candle. And eventually you're going to have a sea of candles around you that's going to become a big bright light, and that's going to assist in this world's turnaround. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you. Well, I'm a professor, so I have a lot of students. I'll try to influence them positively.
Perfect.
And when you said my dad was so overwhelmed growing up, he wasn't seen. He had 4 sisters and no brothers. So
that would explain it. We can be overpowering. Gerald was the only boy with all sisters, and now he's the only man with all females. All our cats are females, all our chickens are females. So he does sometimes feel like I get lost in the mix.
Yes, I know. Yeah, because he had a wife and 3 daughters too. So
Oh well, there you go. So, but he feels like he has this kind of dry sense of humor. And he's just a lot of fun, I think. And I think he just wants to play with you. He just wants to have fun together. Because I do think that he just made me feel like he worked a lot. And he wasn't always there to really spend time with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a provider. That wasn't it. But he didn't always have the time to really get to know you on that deep spiritual level. And that's why he just wants to have fun with you right now. So go have fun with him, because he loves you so much. And he's so proud that you're you're the next generation, because this has been going on for quite some time, but it was never allowed to be seen in the past.
It's really, thank you so much. That was amazing.
You're welcome, sweetheart. I hope that helps.
Yes. Oh my God. It's amazing.
Okay. I keep seeing a girl, it's a young girl. But she keeps showing me angel wings. I think this girl, it almost feels like a car accident, but it almost feels like this was intentional, maybe like a suicide. For some reason, I keep seeing a car.
My daughter Angela was in a big car crash. She committed suicide.
Okay.
But
okay.
She committed suicide after the car crash. Yeah.
Okay.
It could be Angie. I don't know.
I think so, because she's showing me I'm seeing a young woman. She's pretty, very pretty. But she's showing me angels. So Angela, angel. I'm thinking that's what she's trying to say.
She was 18 when she had her car crash. She committed suicide at 25.
Okay. Because I kept feeling too. I was like feeling a car, and then I felt like suicide.
Yeah. All the brain damage came from the car crash. Yeah.
Okay. She's
If that's
very,
Angie, I don't know.
she's such a vibrant soul, though. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
she was so full of life. I mean, it just feels like one thing led to another. And she just feels goofy, like her energy's kind of goofy and very happy, and and she's just really excited. It's almost like she's doing cheerleader moves. That's what I feel like. Hey, 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 hey. She's just happy. Okay, so she's just kind of she wants you to know that she was met by your parents.
My father is dead. My mother is dead. So
yeah, she showed me that she was welcomed when she transitioned. Did they pass on before her?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what she's showing me. Like when she transitioned, when she committed suicide, she was welcomed by them. So she was never alone, or she was never lost. It seems to me that it's very important that you know that, because you were very worried for her soul.
I was.
And she's saying it's okay.
Awesome. That's
She's saying I'm all right.
Okay. Thank you.
She wants you to let go of that, that fear, because although it is a very hard thing for you guys, for her family, because she wasn't alone, is what she's saying. She has, I think she might have siblings. But it just feels like
there's a brother and a sister. Yeah.
So it just feels to me like she really, she's sorry for all the pain that was left behind. But at the same time, it's almost like you guys, there should be an understanding, if that makes sense, why she did what she did. Does.
Well, yeah, she was very depressed after her car crash.
Okay. So she's just basically, that's just what it feels like. It's almost like she's just trying to comfort you that she was instantly okay. She was instantly received with love. Your parents were there to greet her, to embrace her, to help her. And she says, I then have the privilege to welcome Grandpa Peter into heaven. So she's just showing me Grandpa Peter. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Her father's father was named Peter. My father was Dominic. Peter was her dad's dad.
Yeah, and he came after her. So she's just showing me that. She's just showing me that she first your parents came and got her when she transitioned, and then Peter transitioned and she went and got him.
Okay.
Okay, so it's almost like
Yeah.
she's
She's
trying
okay.
to, she's okay, and she's trying to tell you, don't fear the transitioning. It is just like walking through a door. It is as simple as that. And it doesn't mean that we all have to go home at the same time, but she's saying we all have a purpose to play, and there is even a role or a purpose to what happened to me. Okay, because she says before this, you it just feels like the family was very focused on more the religious aspect of spirituality.
Yeah.
And it's almost like with her transitioning, a search, an inner search in your heart began to find a way to reconnect, to find a way to, you know, see if there was any way or form to still be able to communicate with one another. And so that was one of the purposes of her early transitioning, despite the fact that it was a suicide. It is part of a bigger plan. Does that make sense?
Okay. No, but thank you.
I know.
Thank
It's
you.
hard. It's hard to understand.
It was so hard on her brother Sean and her sister Lisa, but Sean took it the worst. But he talks to her all the time. So
he does. And the thing is, the more you find faith in the fact that she didn't die. Her body died. She's still very much alive. The more you find comfort in that, and the more you find acceptance in that, the more the validations of her constant presence will be achieved, will be reached. Does that kind of make sense?
Yes, and I thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, she knows we love her a lot, so it's all good.
Oh, she does.
We just miss her.
And she says, you know, I love you very, very much. I love you all very, very much. She's not a person who would ever hurt anyone. But in her soul had reached a level of she didn't want to be a burden. Okay, she didn't want to be a burden, and she also didn't want to live in a disabled state.
I could understand that. Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah. She was always crying because she had short-term, brain damage, right temporal lobe epilepsy is what she ended up with. So I get it. We understand.
Yeah.
We understand.
All right.
Okay.
She just wanted to step forward today to tell you how much she loves you and how much she can't wait for you guys to get to that point where you can actually see her and feel her, because it will happen in this lifetime where you will find a way to communicate to each other where you won't be able to dismiss it as, oh, it's just, my imagination. Does that make sense?
Okay. Thank you, Emma, very much. Thank
You're
you, Angie.
welcome. I have another father energy that's coming in. Definitely a father energy. I'm not getting a name. I'm not picking up on the name. Okay, so he's giving me the date 2020. So this might be the date that I think that he transitioned, or it could be an important date for someone. He's talking about, okay, so so he wants to talk to his daughter. He's showing me that this person does struggle with insecurities. He's showing me that she's a mom. He's very visual, so I don't think he's used to communicating. I just get pictures in my head. It just feels to me like he's having a hard time communicating, so I don't know if he's ever communicated through a medium or not. I'm just getting visualizations, and he's just showing me that whoever this may resonate with, that his daughter really has a hard time. It's almost like there's too much on your plate. You're trying to do too much, right? And it feels to me like a lot of the attention has to go to the children. There's a lot of places to visit. There's a lot of medals to be won. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Oh my God, that's us, Emma, for sure.
Okay. So
I have 3 children and they are chasing medals all the time.
Okay. It just looks to me like you're busy, so busy taking them from place to place to place. Yes. And they do so well that you can't say I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're in this dilemma almost, because you really want some time for you. You really need time to figure out you and what you want to do. It almost feels like. And it's just so hard because your kids, although they're getting older, he's just kind of showing me that they do take, it does take a lot of energy and time and organizing. It's almost like you have this schedule hanging up, figuring everything out. And you're like, it just feels to me like a lot of times you're just overwhelmed because it's just you. It's just you. And for some reason, Tracy, I feel for you the same thing. It's just you. You know, so I think your dad might be here as well, because there's definitely another entity coming in.
It's definitely like, I'm like, yep. I'm a single mom. I've got like 1.5 million things going on.
I'm a single mom as well. So
yeah, there you go. So I feel like, you know, both dads are here at the same time. So now I'm trying to figure that out. But let's stick with Tina for a minute and then we'll go back to Tracy. So let me see, what's the message? It's almost like he's telling you, but you won't like what he has to say. It's almost like you have to call in assistance. You have to call in help. The thing is, you tend to always want to do everything yourself, okay? Because you're just worried that something's not going to happen right. You're worried about, you know, not being there for your children. There's a lot of worry going on about giving up control and handing it over to another one. You really have a hard time trusting people. Okay. And that is because of your past, because of the energies, because of the relationship, and so on and so forth. So in a way, your trust has been damaged. And so you tend to undertake everything on your own and not kind of, I don't know the right word in English, but you know, hand out, you know, ask for assistance, maybe of family members to maybe take a child or whatever it may be, but to kind of find a way to trust and other people to help you so you can create more time for you, because you're on the verge. You're on this, he's showing me like one of those circus wires, and you're just trying, you know, you're just on there, but you're on the verge of falling off and hurting yourself. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's almost like you're in this dilemma because you're doing all of that. And then, you know, deep inside that the universe is asking something bigger of you for you. And so you're constantly in this kind of balancing act. But it just feels like if you don't find a way to really trust other people with certain tasks, to take some of the load off of you, you will fall off and you will hurt yourself. And it'll be a lot harder to get back up. So this is not to scare you, but it's simply to kind of give you a little bit of a heads up, like this is important. And you keep telling you in your head, yes, I got to find a better system. I got to make more time for me. I got to, but you don't do it. Is that going to make sense?
Yeah, total sense.
Yeah.
And also, it also feels to me like you're trying, I don't know what you do for a living or what you do for a job, but it almost feels like that's shifting as well. You know, you're trying to do something bigger, something new. And you just simply don't have the energy to bring it into fruition. Right? So that's another reason why you have to learn to really call in assistance wherever you can, whether you have to ask family members or friends to help you out with a little bit, just to take a little bit of the load off. It is important that you do so. And what that'll do is it'll not only give you time and more energy to really focus on also other things, but it will also give you a sense of trust again. Because you're part of something really beautiful with your children, right? Your children are very connected, very intuitive, right? That's why they keep winning. They are excellent manifestors, right?
Yes.
And so you also, what you do for you is not just simply for you, but to also show them that it's okay to trust, it's okay to, redirect certain tasks, that you don't have to do it all yourself, because your children are imitating you. And they are very independent, but we live in a reality where we just simply cannot do everything ourselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'll try.
Like,
I'll try, but thank you for the message.
He's really sweet though, your dad. He really is.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
he's just worried. I feel like there's a worry. There's a worry.
Yeah.
And he just loves you so much, and he just wants to see you. He wants to see you shine as well, because your children are shining, but you need to shine as well.
Yes. This is my dad.
Oh, look at that energy.
There he is.
What a great smile. Love it.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel, this big huggy teddy bear. That's what he's like.
Yes, that's him. Yeah.
He's very sweet, but competitive as well.
I know he worries.
Sorry? But he's also a little competitive, I feel. I feel like there's a little bit of competition. Yeah, it runs in the family.
That's in the family. That's why children are winning medals, because they like to compete.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right. Yeah. Well, I hope that helps a little bit. There you go.
Thank you very much.
All right. Let's see if we can get the dad in for Tracy. So I'm getting two dads. Do you have two dads? I don't know if that makes any sense.
I have my dad,
I have
and then
one and one. There's two men stepping forward when I request your dad.
And then I have one that was kind of like my dad, because my mother remarried. Then he passed.
And that's Walter.
Exactly. Hi, Papa.
He's on the right. And then your dad's on the left. They get along though. It's kind of fun. They do get along. They do get along. You don't, I mean, in the other side, they all get along, but sometimes they'll show that they didn't get along, but I don't see that here. No, it seems like they were all good. Walter's just stepping forward. He's going, hi. He's just, I can see it. I can see him waving. It feels to me like he has a message for Ginger.
My daughter.
Okay.
I can go. You want me to grab her a minute?
However.
I mean, you can talk. I'm just going to mute myself and yell.
Okay, so the message for Ginger is that it almost like she gets overwhelmed. Does that make sense? She gets overwhelmed. She's so sensitive to energy. I would call it a hypersensitivity. You have empaths who are very sensitive, and it can already be challenging as an empath, but then you have an hypersensitivity. And she's also very ambitious. She's very passionate. So she wants to do a lot of things in the world, but then the energies can be so overwhelming that she has a lot of crash and burn kind of moments. Does that kind of make sense? Like she really has a hard time finding that balance, and it's the balance it's kind of like the balance act. It's very similar to Tina, isn't it? But it's like the balance act for her is necessary. I mean, she needs to find a way to disconnect from the human condition more than ever. Because the more the world changes, the more she feels the impact of that. And the more she goes into a panic mode and really has anxiety and these kind of panic attacks. Does that kind of make sense? And totally. The reason, or one of the biggest experiences her soul chose to have in this lifetime is to really find this is different than what we normally say. Normally, what I hear from spirit is, we have to try and find balance between the human side and the spirit side. And when the two yous are in balance, then, life becomes easier. But because of her hypersensitivity, she actually has to approach it in a very different way. She has to find a way to create two sides of her separate.
Right.
Okay. So when she's doing her very human things and it becomes overwhelming, she has to find some time, some space to then disconnect completely from that human and to really kind of go into her spiritual frequency so she can re-energize. It's almost like tapping in her electric car into the spiritual thing to just kind of get filtered, get clarity again, and then she can go back to the human side. It'll never work for her if she just finds balance. She's too sensitive. Okay, it doesn't happen very often that the sensitivity is that heightened.
It's intense, and the thing is, with what I do, I do work on her because I do spiritual work, but and I'm an empath, so it shoots into me. It could, to take part of that from her, and then I get like this not paranoid. It's like a paralyzed position in a sense because it's overwhelming for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But we're in the process, and we'll see maybe what my dad says, of shifting a lot of that to put her into it very shortly, because she needs that. I got to get out of where I am and move forward so that she can.
It's the balancing act doesn't work for her. No. It's going to work for you, Tracy, but it's not going to work for her. And the thing is, you guys are connected, so you're feeling each other's pain.
Right.
So she has to approach her reality from a whole different angle. She has to find a way to, in a way, live two lives side by side, in a way connected, but also in a way disconnected. It sounds very weird. I've never heard this before. So for me, I'm learning from this as well. But that's what he's saying. So she has to be able to completely disconnect, and she can do that through meditation, and she can do that through many different things. And I'm sure she's tried all of that, but she has to confirm, she has to request the disconnect completely. Mm-hmm. When we go into a sleep mode, they show me that, into the deep sleep, we disconnect completely. I mean, the cord is still there, but we're disconnected. She has to be able to do that during her daily life as well, in small moments. Mm-hmm. So they are showing me that hypnosis might be able to provide her techniques. It's almost like installing it's about he's showing me when she is put under hypnosis, they can communicate to her higher self, and the higher self can then directly install the app, the thing, the program into her on how to disconnect. and then she'll be able to do that. I know it sounds really weird and
No,
crazy,
it doesn't.
It has to happen, or she's not going to be able to handle this life.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because some of the things I do has helped. I'm going into that other area. I'm learning QHHT, which is quantum hypnotic healing techniques, which is really amazing, which actually connects to her Akashic records, and she can connect. So it's just getting her to get into a place where my voice isn't mom voice, or have her go,
and that's really what it is about, find a way. It's almost like the search is part of the journey for her, right? Searching.
Exactly, because she's searching.
Yeah, but she will find it. She will find it. So not to give up or not to be in despair, but just keep in mind that you're not trying to find balance anymore. You're trying to find ways to disconnect and then come back. It's almost like unplugging yourself out of the human body, going for a little stroll, re-energizing up in the higher planes, and then coming back. That's what she needs to focus on.
Well, I don't know what, I'll let you continue, but we are going to be transitioning, moving into a place where it's more calmer. She'll check out with her chickens, and she'll check out with, that nature side of herself.
She needs to.
Then,
it'll definitely help.
Yeah.
It'll definitely help, they said. Now, your dad, he's so proud of you. Your dad is very proud of you. He's making me feel like it's almost like he's saying I wasn't the perfect dad that you deserved. So he does feel like he could have done better.
I get where the whole dynamic comes from that. So just my message to him is, it's all good, Dad, because you've taught me so much, and he's always with me, and he's just like, for me, I get it. But anyway, I'll take his message, but I want him to know that.
He knows, he just really just wanted to express it one more time. And he's very kind of poetic. I don't know if he was very poetic in life, but what he's saying is, no matter what happens around you, know that there's always peace and tranquility to be found within. And when we can tap into that frequency on a daily basis, then we cannot and will not ever feel alone, disconnected, and lost. So it's almost like he's trying to tell you that in order for you, because you're very much a person who loves to be of service to others. You're very much a person who finds purpose and meaning in assisting others, right? But he says, you're a busy bee, and you tend to constantly receive ideas and things that need to be changed, and it's almost like you're in a constant state of download, and you're like, whoa, too much at the same time. Like, I haven't even processed that, and now you're coming up with something new here, and it's almost like when it gets too overwhelming, because the downloads, it's not a spirit that's sending that down to you. It's not a higher being that's sending that down to you. It is literally you, who is very ambitious in this lifetime and who really wants to absorb as much experience as it can. You're a very ambitious soul. And so you're constantly sending out subconsciously a request for information. And so you are getting those downloads, but they're coming too fast because you're just too darn ambitious. Okay. So he says, make sure that you become aware of what you're requesting on a subconscious level. And the only way you can better regulate the pace and the amount of information that's coming to you, because the problem is you're getting so much information so quickly, you don't have time to master it.
Exactly. 100%.
You don't have time to it's just like, oh, okay, Okay. And you grab it and you understand it and you try to work with it, but you can't master it because it's going too fast. And that's why he's saying, make sure that you regulate, you yourself can regulate and hold off and say, okay, hold on, guys, I got this now. First, I'm going to master it. And then when I'm ready, I will request the next download. Make sure that you take back control, okay? Because your subconscious, although it is an all-knowing entity, is running the show, but it doesn't work for your human pace. So you need to slow down your higher self.
Well, it's like, I want to learn this. I want to learn this. So I start this and I'm like, oh my God. And then I'm like, I haven't finished that class. So basically what I'm doing is, okay, I've got what I got with this one.
Regulate it. Yeah.
Next
Regulate
one is
it better. Yeah. Be aware of what you're requesting consciously or subconsciously. And you can do that in that tranquility space. And it's really up to you, he says. We don't control it. It is your request and you're the one receiving it. Make sure that you better organize or better regulate the amount of information coming in so you can master something before you move on to something else. Because if you can take the time to truly master something, you will be of better service to everyone around you, and you will be able to do much more productive work than what you're doing now. Because now sometimes you can be all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, there's a lot on my plate. I didn't know if he might have had a message about maybe my moving. Probably like, that's the best thing you could ever do, get away from those cuckoo people. I don't know, but
well, either way, he says the move is, I don't know if you guys heard it. Did you guys hear the voice? There was a voice there. The move is definitely a positive thing. Okay. It'll also allow space for reinvention. Mm-hmm. Okay. When we start over, whether it is through a move or whether it's a new job or whatever it may be, he says, then we allow space to become a new person with new routines and new schedules and new rhythms. And so that's going to offer both you and her, it feels to me, a new opportunity to, in a way, redesign your reality.
Yes.
So it's a very positive thing.
Yeah.
It's not about escaping, he says, because don't approach it that way, he says, because if you approach it with the idea of I need to escape certain frequencies or energies, then you're going to send that out, and then it's not going to be healed because you're going to constantly manifest more escapes. If you know.
No, it's not an escape. For me, it's a complete new beginning, new everything, and just really when I get there, it's like I will be free.
Yeah. It's just a free, it's just a way of, reinvention.
It really is. I can actually learn my trades, do what I want to do. I don't have other outside forces, pulling me. So
exactly. Either way, he loves you very, very much. And just know that he's with you, he's always there.
I know. I'm grateful.
He's making me feel like, you have many entities you communicate with. He's not the only one. So, but know and understand that he's always there, and he is assisting everyone. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really needed to hear from him.
Oh, good. Happy I could help. All right.